This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium training session. This Infinium training session is entitled Who Hurt You? The Season of Beguilement. Now, my MGTOW brothers, in the last Infinium training session, I discussed how for men, the holiday time period, no matter what they're named, going from November, Thanksgiving, to at least February, Valentine's Day, of the next year are high holy scent days. Likewise, for women, these are high holy beguilement days when women attempt to entrap men into their Venus flytraps. There are two major aspects of these high holy beguilement days. Number one is the holiday time period known as cuffing season. Cuffing season, simply put, is the time period where women aggressively try to get men into relationships with them. Number two is the holiday time period known as forced integration or forced reintegration season. The forced integration or forced reintegration season is where female family members or relatives try to aggressively pull in or pull back male family members or relatives into the fold, so to speak. The fold being an area of control and domination, such as a feminine sandbox. Feminine sandbox, as I described in prior Infinium training sessions, is a type of control area where women put you into and they have dominance and control over you. It is important for you, my MGTOW brothers, to understand that the season of beguilement combined with a simp out can lead to anything from loss of freedom to ultimately your destruction. The following is just two examples of what can happen to you, my MGTOW brothers, if you do not hold the line and fall victim to the season of beguilement. Number one, you let your guard down and follow the advice of a woman like my sister who advocates single men going out and finding single mothers to marry. Consequently, you do the noble thing by allowing a wonderful single mother with her so-called cute kids to cuff you. As time goes along, you find that the wonderful single mother is having daily and habitual emergencies, and those cute kids are El Diablos from the deepest pits of hell. You now find yourself running back and forth between state to state because you have to deal with the family court systems of those states and the other fathers or fathers of the El Diablos. It could be one father, it could be multiple fathers, as I know of one case in my family. But going forward, what's worse now is your freedom as a man is kaput. Number two, you let your guard down by allowing female family members or relatives to force integrate you or force reintegrate you back into the fold, so to speak, which the female family members use with your flesh and blood shaming tactic to do the aforementioned. At first, all seems all well because their loving demeanor causes you to forget the insulting arguments where you were blamed for every problem in the family. Then, about a few days after Christmas, you are suddenly confronted by your female family members and about an impending house note which is due, which you, because you're their flesh and blood, have to come up with the money to take care of this issue. And because you let your guard down, you do the noble thing and come up with the cash, which accordingly, your freedom as a man is now kaput. My MGTOW brothers, it is important for you to understand that daily consumption of red pills and daily embracement of the MGTOW philosophy and finally holding the line can literally save your life. In these time periods that we're in, again, these are profound times, my brothers. And consider then the following. Number one, the devastating effects of men red pilling and going MGTOW before the COVID-19 outbreak upon the feminist plantation state is was extreme, again, before the COVID-19 broke out. Number two, the exacerbation of the aforementioned effects caused by the COVID-19 outbreak. So that being said, the COVID-19 actually exacerbated the devastating effects which the MGTOW philosophy and men going red pilling, men red pilling, I should say, it actually caused things to get worse for the feminist plantation state. Number three, the loss of hunting fields due to the COVID-19 lockdowns. Nightclubs, entertainment venues, restaurants, etc., where women could find men. Basically, now it is the state of where women can only go to like maybe a grocery store or maybe a gym if it's still open to find a man. So therefore, there are no places, hunting fields that these women can go to find men. It has been really, really cut down because of the COVID-19 virus. Number four, the first lockdown causing a sharp uptick in divorce rates as predicted by Coach Greg Adams. It is now coming out that the divorce rates during the COVID-19 lockdown, the first lockdown, actually went up instead of going down. There was a number of things which, again, were predicted by Coach Greg Adams. If you go back and look at some of his work, he actually predicted that this would come to pass, and it did. So basically, if you look at some of the articles coming out there saying that women could not live with men successfully during the lockdown. And there are a number of things that happened during this because, first of all, if a woman was out of the house working and her job got shut down, that means her work husband, so to speak, is gone. That means she can't really go out and have multiple partners as well as her current partner or her husband. When they're locked down, they're finding out that again their wifey poo is not what they think they are. So a number of things have happened. Number five, debacles such as the Tomi Lahren "Men Are Trash" rant, combined with again men in mass finding out that they could not live in peace with women. So again, Tomi Lahren came out with that rant, which said that all men are trash, and this, along with COVID-19, exacerbated men red pilling, men going MGTOW, and as well the combination of men having to really live with women, not on a basis where both are out of the house, but they are both in the house. And the men finding out how the women actually are have exacerbated breakups, divorce rates, all types of things, men going red pill, men going along the MGTOW road, all that has happened because, again, of the COVID-19 and things such as Tomi Lahren and her rant. Number six, women are more desperate now to find resources, also known as men, that they can secure to tide them over the next lockdown. As you might be aware of, my brothers, that states are going back into lockdown. For instance, my state recently went into a curfew. The state next to us went into a curfew. So again, we're getting locked down again. Men are having to live with their women, mostly 24/7. So again, all of these things are combining to push up desperation as well as breakups. Number seven, my brothers, whether it's a female family member or woman in your past or anything in between, women are looking for resources and not relationships. So all these 7 factors here, my brothers, you must understand that if, for instance, a breakup occurred during the first lockdown, the woman involved with that is looking for other resources. So if you're in a store somewhere, a grocery store, you're just shopping around and you're finding that women are being more aggressive, and it doesn't matter, my brothers, what race you are, what skin color you are, they will come after you. And you're finding that women of all races are being more aggressive or being more demure or whatever they're doing. That's why that's happening, my brothers, because they're looking for resources. And don't be surprised, my brothers, if you are a quote unquote white man and a black female comes after you aggressively, and vice versa. If you're a black man and a white female comes after you aggressively, it will happen. And that, my brothers, is why, again, you must keep your eyes open in these times. My MGTOW brothers, we are in very profound times. And as I said again, you must keep your eyes not only open, but focused upon the pathway of the MGTOW philosophy. Don't let yourselves be fooled by the season of beguilement that we are in, but rather allow the simple infusing power of the MGTOW philosophy be your light and guide as you travel towards your freedom, my brothers. Remember, you're free men and not resources to be enslaved and plundered. So my MGTOW brothers again, hold the line. Take your red pills. Daily embrace the MGTOW philosophy. And as I was listening to RPM, he was discussing a horrible situation that a man had gone through. Is basically he married his high school sweetheart, only to find out later on in life that she had an affair and his kids were not his kids. Think about those things, my brothers. Think about all those things as a woman who is batting her eyes at you. Again, no matter what her color is, no matter what her race is, who is batting her eyes at you and saying how sweet you look, how you're a nice guy, you look like a nice guy. Can we get together for dinner or something like that? Consider those things. Consider that you are being assessed as a resource and not a mate. You're being assessed as somebody who can be put into a slave field. Again, where the sign over the slave field says work towards freedom, but you know in your mind it is work towards death. My brothers, again, you deserve to be free no matter what season is going on, no matter what type of virus, what type of situation that is happening in this world, no matter what the state of the feminist plantation state is, you, my brothers, deserve to be free. You were born as a free man, and you should walk in this world as a free man. Remember again, let the MGTOW philosophy define you. Do not let the feminist plantation state define you. And you'll find that under the definement of the MGTOW philosophy, it will show you again that you are a man. You were designed as a man, and you were designed as a free man. And you have the right to be free. You have the right to walk in this life and travel along the MGTOW path in freedom. You have the right to have sanctity. You have the right to have peace in your life. And it is not noble, again, to either cohabitate with, or to marry women in this day and age, because there is no benefit to you. My MGTOW brothers is like this. Women now have to bring something to our table, and that they cannot offer up anything other than enslavement, then they are turned away from our tables. Again, we are not slaves. We are men who are free. And be reminded of that as you go through these days and as you travel along the MGTOW road toward your freedom. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium training session. My MGTOW brothers, now more than ever, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.